Hello, 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 hello. So today we are going to be doing a super simple, not natural, but a very easy to wear day-to-day makeup look that you can throw together really quickly. Some nice glowy skin. I think this is a nice look that you can honestly wear kind of for anything. You could wear it to work, you could wear it for a date, you could wear it, insert whatever activity. That sounds bad, but you know what I mean. So yep, just going to be doing a quick little tutorial on this simple, easy day-to-day makeup look. And I'll be using the Lorac, I believe it's called the California Dreamers palette, and I got mine at Ulta. I believe they still have them in stock. It hasn't been selling out crazy quickly. I have mixed feelings on it. There's pros and cons to it, kind of like there is with everything, but this video is just going to be strictly a makeup tutorial, but I will link somewhere in floaty locations on the screen. Click somewhere on the screen. But I will have a link for the palette review if you're interested in that, where I will include swatches and kind of the breakdown of all my thoughts and feelings on it if you're interested. But yep, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this makeup tutorial. Okay, so to start off today for our simple, natural, dewy look, I'm first going to go in with the Pixie by Petra. It is the Flawless and Poreless Primer. Now, I just got this, so I can't give you a full first impressions on it. I have noticed, though, that it has been smoothing out my pores, which is always a big thing. I think one of the hardest things I struggle with is that you can find something that minimizes your pores, but it's hard to find something that minimizes your pores and helps with oil control that's mattifying, because a lot of mattifying primers very much like they make your pores even that more evident. So far I've been liking this, but I can't really tell you. It does make my pores, the appearance of my pores are reduced in this, but I'm not sure how it'll do once my skin gets oily. So now that the skin is primed, I'm going to go in with the It Cosmetics Your Skin But Better. This is a CC cream. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this does make my skin a little bit oily, especially during the summer. My skin has gotten drier since the last time I tried it, though, which is why I'm trying it again today. And also, I think for a daily makeup, a CC cream or a BB cream I think is really good for two reasons. One being, I think it is great to have something with SPF, because if you want to look good for the rest of your life, you have to take care of your skin. And also, it's a lighter coverage, so while it does offer a nice amount of coverage, it isn't going to necessarily give you a cake face. So I think for a average like daily makeup that this is really great. Also, another thing that's awesome about this It Cosmetics product is it adjusts to your skin tone, so you get a really nice match. I'm also going in with a damp beauty blender to apply this, because I think it helps keep a nice natural look for the skin. And it helps give a nice natural, I feel like dewy is kind of the enemy of us girls with oily combination skin, but it does help give a nice, not overly dewy, but fresh faced appearance, because sometimes if you look too matte, it can make your skin look dry. And I haven't smelled this product in a long time, but random fun fact, it actually smells really good. And the SPF in this is actually 50, which is almost unheard of in makeup, but it doesn't smell like SPF. Normally if something has SPF this high in it, it'll smell like SPF. And now that we've just got a light layer blended over our face, I know I have a giant pimple right here, but it's just gonna be what it's gonna be today. And now that we've got our foundation blended in, I'm going to go ahead and take concealer. I think we all know what this is at this point. And I am just going to quickly highlight. Now, this is a light, simple, everyday makeup look, so you don't have to do this. I personally like to, because the bags under my eyes, if I haven't gotten a full night of sleep or anything like that, This will instantly kind of brighten me up. And I'm actually going to take the concealer as I blend it out, and I'm going to go ahead and put it over my eyelid as well. So not only am I brightening under the eye, but I'm also going to essentially be going ahead and laying down our eyeshadow base. So this is a nice, quick, 2-in-1 little thing that we can do for ourselves. And the reason that I still highlight on forehead, nose, and chin if I'm going under the eyes is to even out the face and give it dimension again, so that I don't have this awkward whiteness underneath here that's not balanced by other highlights on my face. Okay, perfect. Now that we have our concealer blended out, I am going to go in and set it. The first thing I'm going to actually set are my eyes, so I'm just going to go in on any skin color that you have, because we don't want the liquid to crease on our eyes. So I'm going to quickly set the eyes. You don't even have to use eyeshadow for this. You can use your setting powder, whatever you prefer. And then to set the rest of my face makeup, I'm actually going to be going in with the Maybelline Better Than Skin. I've seen a couple of beauty gurus talking about it, so I figured I'd give it a try. It does have some coverage, so if I want a super light makeup day, I can just use it as a powder. But it more like blurs. I can still see the imperfections and everything on my skin. But I've seen a lot of people use it to actually set their foundation, so I thought that it would be fun to do that today. And I'm just going to go in, tap tap, and lightly set everything. And I think when you have a dewy foundation like this, that it's really important. It's all about balance. So if you have a dewy foundation, go in with things that are going to mattify it if that's what your skin needs. Like, I will not use a dewy setting spray with a dewy foundation because I know for my skin, it's way too much dewiness and it'll come across as oily. The next thing we're going to do now that our face is set is we're going to go in with our eyeshadow. I'm going to be using, this is the new Lorac eyeshadow palette. It's California Dreamer, I think is what it's called. I'm not a crazy fan of the packaging. It pretty much looks like cheap nail art. That sounds so bad. But it looks like cheap nail art pretty much threw up all over it. I'm not a big fan. But the color palette is actually quite pretty. Peaches are very common right now. It reminds me a bit of the Too Faced peach palette, which I haven't purchased. But I love peaches, and I actually don't own a lot of them, so I splurged on this one. If you're interested in swatches or anything like that, I'm going to do a review video on it, and I will post the link for it somewhere on the screen. But today we're just going to do a simple natural look. So the first color that I'm going to go in with on a big old fluffy brush is going to be this color right here called Button. And I am just going to take that all over the crease, blending with circular motions and holding my brush at the end. You want to do that so that the color is dispersed. And because the closer you hold the brush in, the more pressure you're going to put on the brush, so actually the harder it will be to blend all of your product out. Now that we've just got that nice wash of color, the next thing that we're going to go in with is a slightly smaller blending brush. And we are going to go in on this color, what are we thinking? We're going to go in on this color called a Hot Toddy. It's like a nice terracotta shade. And I'm going to focus this lower than the first color that we went in with, but still use the same circular blending technique. I'm also going to stop around here. I'm not going to take it all the way in on the lid. Then I'm going to go back in with the first brush that we used. I'm not going to put any additional product on it, but I am just going to use that to buff those two colors together. Then I'm going to go back in with just a little bit more Hot Toddy, deepen up those corners a little bit more. And then to add just a little bit more dimension, you could stop here and then just cover your lids with a shimmer. But to give my eyes just a little bit more dimension, I'm going to go in on a angled blending brush. Sorry, I just attacked the pan. Just attacked the eyeshadow with the brush and I'm trying to like abort. But I'm going to go in with a angled blending brush, and I'm going to go in with this color called Cable Knit, which is a nice, it's a nice neutral brown. And I'm just going to take the tiniest amount. And angled brushes are great because it's literally just like drawing in the lines. And literally all I'm doing is going one line down. That was a lot of product. Whew. That is a pigmented eyeshadow, but do not worry, we can blend it out. But what I am doing is I'm going down with that angled brush and then following the V of the eye. It's made this look a little bit more smoky than I had originally intended. And I know that this looks like super sloppy, but think of it with the dark colors, you're placing it, and then we're going to go back in with the blender brush that we have been using, and we are just going to blend it out. Once you blend it out, it's not as dramatic looking as you think. Okay, so now that we have this brown blended out, I'm going to just take a big old fluffy brush and flick away the fallout. That's the one thing these eyeshadows do, have quite a bit of fallout, so they blend well, but they can get a little messy, so make sure you're always tapping off the excess. And now that we have this brown that is nice and blended, I'm going to go in, and this is a really easy day look, but I'm going to spice it up just a little. So I'm going to go in on a flat synthetic brush in this gorgeous color that is called Kitty Cat, right there. So all I'm going to do is go in with that lid color and blend it in. I'm not going to foil it because I think it already has a really pretty color to it, and I don't want anything too super intense. Now, if you don't want something this smoky for your everyday, you can go in with like a beautiful lighter color. Okay, now that we have this done, I am going to go in on a very small shader brush, and I'm going to take the color Hot Toddy again right here, and I'm just going to run that along the lash line just a little bit. I'm not going to take it in all the way, I'm only going to take it in about halfway, and it's going to give me a bit of a smoky under eye. And just kind of open the eyes up a little bit. So then what I like to do for a look like this that's blown out and blended, go back in with the big fluffy brush that we used in the beginning, and I'm not adding any product onto it, but I'm pretty much just going in circular motions over everything one last time to blend it all together. Now time to add our inner eye highlight, and I'm going to go into the color called Sandcastle on the palette. It's a pretty white shimmer, and just going to dust this into the inner corners. And I'm also going to put this under the brow bone for a brow bone highlight. I know not everyone likes to use a shimmer color for under the brow bone, but I happen to think it can look nice, so that is what I'm going to do with it. Now, since we're already up in that area, what I'm going to do for my brows is I'm just going to go in with a clear gel for a nice natural look, just to hold them in place. This is the Sonia Kashuk Just Clear Brow Gel. I'm a very minimalistic brow girl, but literally all I do is just brush up and brush back into shape, and you can tell a slight difference. It just gives it a little more of a cleaner look. I know, easiest brow routine ever. And now that the brows are done, you can go ahead and add liner here or not. I'm actually going to not add liner, and I'm just going to go straight in with mascara. I'm going to be using the Better Than Sex mascara today. And I know I haven't done anything for the waterline yet. This may sound kind of funny, but sometimes I like to put on my mascara, let it dry, and then if I'm going to be doing a light colored waterline like I'm going to be doing today, then I like to do it after my mascara so that the mascara doesn't get on the waterline, because sometimes that can happen. And so what I'm going to be doing today is first I'm actually going to tightline with this dark brown color just halfway, and that's just to connect the eyelashes and make them look a little bit thicker. And so now that we are tight lined, I'm going to go in with Honeydew, and I'm just going to do the waterline. This is a really subtle thing that's just going to brighten the eyes a little bit. This eye is watering because I stabbed this eyeball with the eyeliner, so try not to do that. And now that I have funny face done my eyeliner, we are almost done, and first we are going to go in with blush. Since I'm going for kind of a natural look, I'm going to go in with the Physicians Formula. This is called the Powder Palette Multicolored Blush Blushing Peach. It looks like this. It has a wide, it's opening on me. It has a wide range of like a pink, but a lot of like neutral kind of brown beiges in it. So this almost acts a little bit like a contour, in that it just brings a little bit of life and a little bit of structure back into the cheeks. You may not even really be able to see it on camera. I promise you it is there. And I'm just going to do it first by applying it to apples of the cheeks and then blending it out. And with a color like this, sometimes I like to blend out and take a little bit up into the temple to add a little bit more of a contour. And now that blush is done, moving along, we're going to do highlight. Today I'm going to be using the Pixi. This color is London Luster. I'm in love with this highlighter. It's just beautiful. It goes on and gives this nice natural sheen to it that just gives you this fresh, sun-kissed glow without being too chunky. It blends incredibly well. I think it was Jay Kissa who recommended this on her channel. I can't remember if it was Jay Kissa or Kathleen Lights, but I tried it, and since I've tried it, I've been like absolutely in love with it. And since this is a natural look, I'm not going crazy with the highlight. But we are done. So next, well, we're not done. We still have setting spray and whatever a lip you would like to do. So I'm actually going to do setting spray before I do my lips. Sometimes I just feel like doing it that way. And today I'm going to be using the Pixi Skin Treats Makeup Fixing Mist with Rose Water and Green Tea. Looks like this, and I love it. It smells phenomenal. But, okay, back with the lipstick. So I grabbed my lipstick, and I'm going to be using Bridget by NARS. It's expensive, but it works so well, and I just smushed the cap, so I clearly take really good care of nice things. But when I'm doing a supernatural look like this is something totally up to personal preference, but I'll dab a little bit in the center like this, rub my lips together, and then take my finger and dab it out. It doesn't give you a super sharp, well-defined lip, but it adds like a nice flush of color. I think kind of a nice natural flush of color. It's not giving you a gradiated look, which I feel like is really common in a lot of Asian makeup, but it's kind of like the same technique. You're blending it out a bit too much though for it to have the full gradiated look. Or if you like that look, you can do that. Literally do whatever lip like you look. Do whatever lip look you like. That is really hard to say quickly. But yep. Now that the lips are done, we are officially finished with this simple, glowy, natural look. I hope that you like this tutorial. I'll make sure to leave all the products in the box below, though they have all been mentioned. And yep, I hope to see you in the next video. Make sure to keep your heads up for the review that I'll be doing on the Lorac palette that I used today. And I hope to see you in the next video. Hope you're having a good day, night, evening, wherever you are. And lots of love.